Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Keith spotted a story I read about the same time I did yesterday in the Detroit News involving towing, the police, and corruption. And no one's going to think, oh, those three words don't belong together. And there's problems with towing in a lot of cities. I've mentioned before, I drove a tow truck when I was in high school and the year after high school. And we did impounds for the Birmingham, Michigan Police Department. And people got charged our rate. The city basically just said, whatever you would charge somebody to do that tow, that's what they got to pay for. So some people have figured out, wait, if I have a towing company and I get the contract with the city, I can charge exorbitant amounts to tow cars and then hold them and charge crazy amounts for storage. So that would tend to lead somebody who is perhaps a little unethical to go, there's an opportunity. So from the Detroit News, written by Robert Snell, George Hunter, and Orlando Brand Williams, Detroit cops accused of pocketing cash, steering towing work, and offering to leak info. Two Detroit police officers, including a lieutenant, assigned to root out misconduct in the department, are accused of pocketing cash and receiving free cars and other bribes while steering work to a towing company and offering to leak inside information, according to an indictment that marked an escalation of a citywide public corruption investigation that much of this was uncovered by the FBI. So earlier this week, two men were arrested, a lieutenant and an officer, and their homes were raided, and then there were unsealed indictments charging both with multiple counts of bribery and bribery conspiracy. The indictment is 20 pages long. It cites text messages. It hints at secretly recorded conversations during an undercover investigation and describes a multi-year conspiracy that portrays the two as greedy co-conspirators with their hands out, looking for handouts, allegedly demanding cash and competing for bribes both big and small. Everything from $280 to repair a broken vehicle window and a free BMW. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. I'll take care of you guys and make sure you guys are always under the radar, one of them allegedly told an unidentified towing company official after receiving free car repairs, according to the indictment. The arrests are in connection with Operation Northern Hook, a broader FBI investigation of bribery, extortion, and fraud within City Hall and municipal towing operations. And it did get its first conviction last month with a Detroit City councilman who faces up to 5 years in federal prison after admitting he received almost $36,000 in bribes from an undercover FBI agent and informant in exchange for supporting a towing issue pending in front of the city council. The search warrants and unsealing of the indictment are indications the government appears to be wrapping up the covert part of its investigation, says a Detroit defense lawyer and former federal prosecutor who is commenting on the case. The alleged conspiracy goes all the way back to October of 2018 up through March of this year. In all, one of the men received more than $14,000 in cash, cars, and car repairs from an unidentified towing company and an undercover federal agent, prosecutor said. During a 5-month period in 2018, one of the men received $3,400 in bribes from the towing company. The two are each charged with 3 bribery counts, 1 count of bribery conspiracy, and face up to 10 years in federal prison if convicted. Both have been suspended without pay. Both have been suspended with pay from the police department. The two received court-appointed lawyers following brief, emotional federal court appearances in which both men were restrained with handcuffs and ankle chains. The U.S. magistrate judge released each of them on a $10,000 unsecured bond. One of the men was emotional, and he spent part of the hearing with his hands clasped in a prayer pose, crying and professing his innocence, saying, "I did not do this," 3 times. I did not do this. That is where you enter a plea of not guilty, if you say you didn't do it. Prosecutors allege the two conspired to accept bribes in exchange for steering towing work to an unidentified towing company. That move, of course, would violate city towing rules and an ordinance that bars companies from receiving referrals if they are not included in the department's towing rotation. So here's the deal. Detroit is a big city. It has problems and it needs tow trucks from time to time to tow vehicles. And because they let the tow companies charge so much for their work, it's good work if you can get it. To get it, you got to get onto the list of approved towing companies. Once you are on that list, you just get called as part of the rotation. So, they rotate through. You get the next call, this person gets the next call, and when we get to the bottom, we start all over again. That's how it works in theory. The tricky part is getting onto the list. And so the thing is, you find out who the gatekeepers are on that and see what you can do to persuade them to put you on the list. And then the question is the list actually being run properly? That is, are the people getting the calls through the proper rotation system? Police officers who compromise the integrity of the police department by prioritizing personal gain over policing excellence will not be tolerated. And this type of betrayal of the police department and the citizens of Detroit will be thwarted at every turn, said the acting U.S. attorney in a statement. Now, according to the allegation, one tower, that is a towing company, sought assurances that the illegal benefits would result in favored treatment from police officials. In response, the government says that one police officer told that tower that he and the other guy, who was the go-between, they would tell the tower if he had any problems with the police department, as they were going to let him know whether you're good or not. In November 2017, one of the officers reassured the towing company official that he did not have to worry about the police department's integrity unit investigating that company. The towing official said he would give the two men free cars. He'd give them free cars. There's also a crazy story in here about how one of the men apparently said to the towing company, I need some new carpeting at my house. I need some new carpeting. Now, you'd think if you were talking to your towing guy and you said, I need new carpeting, his correct response would be, sounds like a personal problem to me. Why are you talking to me about carpeting? I'm a tow truck driver or a tow company owner. I don't do carpeting. But no, he actually said, get me the square footage, what kind you want, we'll take care of it. So according to the allegations, it looks like the guys in the police department could ask for favors that were quite unusual of the towing company. And in exchange for that, the towing company would do the favors and get preferential treatment. So the allegations are that these guys got cars and they got carpeting and they may have gotten cash, and to me, now again, maybe I'm overthinking this. And I also apologize. I have a very, very slight cold, so I'm trying to get through this without coughing or hacking. Very slight. Very slight. I shouldn't have even mentioned it. I just realized that. But oh well, too late now. Very slight cold. It seems to me that if I was someone who was involved in a situation like this, and I never would be, obviously, but you'd think these things through. And someone said to me, I need to get new carpeting at my house. Wouldn't it make more sense to go, well, that money I keep giving you? Go buy carpeting. I mean, what are the odds I can go out and get the exact carpeting you want? I mean, it just seems like an unnecessary level of complication to add to this transaction. Can't I give you a bribe and you can use the bribe to go buy the carpeting? I don't know. I need to go buy some carpeting. So, yes, buried in the 20-page indictment is a description of the transaction where the police person allegedly asked the towing company to provide him carpeting and to step it up because the police officer's wife is getting antsy about where her new carpeting is. So it's a crazy story out of the Detroit News. And the story is actually 4 or 5 pages long. I just scratched the surface of it. I'd urge you to go to detnews.com, DETNEWS, detnews.com, Detroit News, and look the story up. It's a great story, huge story, outlines everything in the indictment. But the Detroit cops accused of pocketing cash and steering towing work, offering to leak info as well. Written by Robert Snell, George Hunter, and Orlander Brand Williams. And Keith sent it to me. Thank you very much, sir. Questions, comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. When you go on a road trip, the trip itself becomes part of the story.